Hey, and welcome to Hank's True Barbecue. Today we're gonna cook up some nice lamb roast. I really like lamb roast. It's relatively easy to cook, doesn't take too long. A roast comes from the rear leg typically, so this is the thigh from the lamb. I think it's good because it's tender, roughly. I mean, it's not like meat from the forequarter of the animal. So that means we're gonna bring it up to temp. And when it's done, and that's it. So we don't need to cook it for many hours to make it really tender. It's already good as is. Also, it has a nice, gentle flavor. I'm gonna add some garlic to this one. Actually, I'm gonna infuse some garlic into this one to get that real good flavor. We're gonna cook it on the Weber kettle. But before that, just a bit of trimming, some silvery membranes to get rid of, etc. So let's get to prepping. Now this is what it looks like out of the bag, and as you can see here, there's a big old hole. This is where the femur thigh bone went, so this is actually a cross section of the leg like this. Now all this membrane, we're gonna get rid of that because it's just gonna be chewy and not nice. So we're gonna cut this off. There's quite a bit of trimming. Just start somewhere and get through to where the meat is. The good thing about these silvery membranes is they're quite tough, so you can kind of like let them guide the knife so you don't cut too much meat off. See, I'm holding the membrane back and just letting the knife hit the wall, if you like, or the ceiling of this fatty membrane. So really easy way to trim and not too much waste. And when doing this, it really helps to have a deboning knife like this one. Brand is irrelevant, but get a thin, flexible one. I think that really helps. All right, so I've trimmed quite a bit, and this was a really sloppy cut. So when I was trimming, actually made sense to separate it right here. You see, it almost fell apart. Now, how can you tell whether it's sloppy or not? Well, if you look at these different muscle heads here, you can see it's just cut straight off, not in between the different natural seams. So for example, here's just a tiny part of a different muscle. So that's how you can tell it's sloppy. Anyhow, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll it up and truss it so we can cook it as a whole roast anyway. I mean, it is what it is, and it's still a good piece of meat, so just gonna have to work with what we have. Now when it comes to flavor, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply a dry brine. This is what it's gonna look like when it's all rolled up. So it's like so you can kind of unroll it if you like. And this way we can apply salt on the inside and the outside. And as always, I recommend 1 teaspoon per kilo. You can take more if you want, it's just fine. Sometimes I do, and then we're gonna salt the other side, and then it's going back into the fridge for a while, a few hours, preferably overnight, but I don't have that time now, so this is good. And then we'll take it out again and apply some real flavor with the garlic and some dill actually. Now we're gonna add a lot of flavor to this one. I'm gonna start by making a garlic oil. Get some normal canola oil. I want a neutral oil, and we're gonna add some garlic. Lots of garlic. And the good thing about oil is it carries flavor very well. I think 3 cloves should be enough. We're gonna leave this for 20 minutes to get those flavors in there. And then we're gonna start applying this. It's gonna be good. Now while the oil is getting all flavored up, I'm gonna add some dill to this before we wrap the meat. So I'm gonna get rid of the thicker stems, but the rest, that's a keeper. Just gonna chop it up roughly. So this is gonna be in the middle. We're gonna roll it up and truss it. Should be nice. Now dill is what I call a soft herb, so I'm not gonna apply it on the outside. It's just gonna not go well with the heat, but when we wrap it up inside, that's gonna be way better. just picking out the few large stems that are left here. So it's time to prep the meat. Here it is. I'm gonna stuff it with the dill, and we're gonna inject it with this canola oil and garlic infusion. First thing I'm gonna do is apply some lemon pepper, because I like that. I think it should be good with other flavors. Like that. I'm gonna fill this with dill, plenty of dill. And we're gonna roll it up and truss it and inject it. And when applying rubs of herbs or flavors in general, I think it's good to go a little bit over the top, because it's gonna be milder in the end anyway, so don't be worried about adding too much. It's gonna be a nice fat roll. You can get some butcher's twine and tie this all up. All right, I think that turned out pretty good. Cut these off and we're gonna start injecting the oil. Now the trick is to get the oil into the meat, not into like in between the different layers. So when I use my injector needle, this time it's a thicker one, because the oil is, well, it's simply thicker than regular beef or chicken stock, so that's gonna help. And I'm gonna brush it outside also. I'm gonna get some lemon pepper on the outside too. Okay, time to get this show on the road. Now I've got my slogans here. I have the ash charcoal, which I really like. It's burning very cleanly. Almost zero flavor, which I'm gonna add instead with the cherry wood chunks. But first, I'm gonna fire this thing up. One of the key benefits of just lighting a little bit of charcoal is that it's much easier to keep the temps down, because this is a low and slow cook, just like most cooks I do. All right, it's getting started. I'm gonna put the lid on and wait till we get up to temp, which is 110, 120 Fahrenheit. That's 240, 250 Celsius. Oh, sorry, the other way around. Anyhow, vents, both vents, top, bottom vent open. So let's get this one warmed up. So we're up to temp. Just gonna drop the cherry for smoke flavor. That's good. Get the meat on the grill. Kind of handy with a tray like this. All right, smoke away. Remember, the vent across the meat, like this. We want to force the smoke over the meat and then out. So it's been on for an hour, so we're just gonna do a quick peek and see how it looks. Oh, nice. It's looking good. It's getting dark outside, but yeah, let's just keep this thing going. Rock steady. All right, so the grill is doing its thing. I got my fireboard thermometer monitoring temps. Everything's running super smooth, so all I have to do now is wait. I guess this is a good part about low and slow smoking, is once you got everything tuned in, I mean, it's easy peasy. Walk in the park. Now, typical cook time for this, I would guesstimate 2.5 hours. We'll see when it's done. I'm aiming for 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 Fahrenheit, internal temp in the meat. I'm gonna check with my trusted thermopen. Once it's done, I'll bring it in, I'll let it rest for 20 to 30 minutes, and then it's time to slice and see what it tastes like. I'm excited about this one. I think the garlic and the dill is gonna work really well together, so we'll see shortly. So the roast is done, I just brought it in. I think it's looking pretty good. It's gonna be a nice try and taste this one, see what it's like. Nice color, you can see the red, mahogany red from the smoke. All right, nice crust. I'm gonna let this one rest just a bit before we slice into it. Let the juices recollect inside or even out, but oh man, this is gonna be a nice one. All right, just a quick sample before dinner. Oh, that's looking good. Nice color, nice juicy meat. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, this is good. Real good. You can definitely taste the dill, you can taste the garlic. This is a classic roast. Real classic roast, but barbecue style. Man, this is good stuff. Internal temp 60 degrees Celsius, 140 Fahrenheit. Just right. Perfect. And that was another fun cook doing a lamb roast, traditional low and slow style with, I would say, classic herbs like garlic's always a winner. Dill is a bit new to me, but it was good fun. Nice rolling it up into a little package and smoking it with lemon pepper. All right, till next episode. I hope my voice gets better, but see you next time. Thanks for watching.